see you, man. How you doing?
Great, great. Thank you for having me. It's great to be here.
Should we start with introducing yourself?
My name is Sal Fratto. I'm a musician living here in Philadelphia, originally from New York. Came to Philadelphia just under 3 years ago, and just playing music, doing some solo work, playing with the group I'm in, Elephant Jake, and playing in some other groups. Trying to play every single day.
And you just released a new EP, right?
Yes, I
I
did.
was listening to this EP last week and this week as well, actually. It reminds me a little bit like Elliott Smith, Neutral Milk Hotel, and Daniel Johnston too.
Yes, I have a Daniel Johnson tattoo on my leg of huge influence for me. All three of those that you mentioned. I mean,
But we should definitely talk a little bit about the new EP. All songs came together during the same time, or
for a majority of them, I would just come home and I would just write them on my acoustic guitar. And I honestly didn't know what I was going to do with some of them. Like, I have a song on there called 45 that I thought was going to be an Elephant Jake song. And then I was, playing with it a little bit more and I realized, maybe not. I don't know if it necessarily fits the style or the vibe. They pretty much were all written around the same time, with the exception of A Call for Help. I was just going through the older stuff and I found that one and I said, yeah, let me try and give it another shot. The rest of them were pretty much written around the same time. I would say the end of last year.
I definitely dig Step Down and Point 45. They're really amazing songs.
Thank you. I just got these from Displaced Snail Records. I'll mail you one.
Yeah, Step Down and Point 45 is something that I would like to hear about it.
So for Step Down, I was working a job last year that in hindsight, I really miss it. But in the time, you might feel like it's a struggle and you might feel like, oh my gosh, I just can't do this anymore. Sometimes you might feel that way. So it really was just kind of literal. I try not to like make any grandiose meanings or over complex. I think really I was just considering actually stepping down. I was like, I don't know if this is for me, but it is. I think it is. Teaching. That was really honestly, the chorus. It's I'm stepping down here. How would you like me to show up today? It's like sometimes it was hard to navigate. I didn't really know how I was supposed to, it's hard to keep up with all the different things.
Point 45 is definitely my favorite of the record. So I would like to hear about this song.
It's really just about like being in a toxic relationship and not knowing how to step forward and how to move on. And recently I had to look up if a 45, I don't know anything about like guns or anything because it's not my thing. I was like, do they even have a barrel? I was like, is this wrong? Is this like, am I incorrect? I wasn't sure. I thought both of those were going to be Elephant Jake songs. And then I recorded drums for 45. And then I realized I'm just going to take them away and just, strip it down.
Yeah, because you have already anticipated that you play in this band, Elephant Jake. Are you the lead singer, guitarist in the band?
Myself and Colin Harrison, who writes half of the songs, he sings what he writes and I sing what I write. So I would say it's kind of split down 50-50 on who's the lead singer per se.
I guess you are one of the main writers in the band and of course for your solo project. Am I right?
Yes.
I would like to talk a little bit about the way you produce your song, you write your song, because nowadays it feels that everybody is home producing and working on a DAW. If it's something that you try to keep separate or you like to do simultaneously?
It varies depending on the release itself. So for this EP, the Marlboro Miles EP, that was recorded pretty much exclusively on a Tascam Porta Studio. I wanted to just unplug, get away from the DAW, and just kind of take the stripped down approach of the songs and incorporate it with a stripped down approach of recording. So they were all recorded on that Porta Studio with the exception of I Watch You Running Away, which that song just has one chord plated GarageBand, but I didn't have a keyboard or anything, so I just pressed like the keys on the laptop. Now for other releases and EP I put out a few years ago, just a little bit of some music, that was recorded all in a DAW at home with the exception of the drums, which I did at a studio. It felt really refreshing to be able to unplug everything and just go straight into the Porta Studio because you could take it anywhere and you can unplug. And
you write the music first or the lyrics?
Most of the time, and I think this is true no matter what I'm writing, that I usually just have an acoustic guitar and vocals or keyboard and vocals. I'll try and write the lyrics and the and the music at the same time. And then if I want to add other stuff later, then I'll layer it on top. But when I write something, I try and express the feelings that I'm having in the moment. And sometimes those feelings go away just after a couple days or a week, or maybe I'm not upset anymore, or I'm over it. So I get impatient. So I feel like I have to get things done in just a few sittings, one or two or three sittings, and if not, I'll scrap it.
So it has to be something that he moves very quick.
Yeah, most definitely, because I consider it a diary or an outlet, this solo project. Let loose and just really dive in and see how I'm feeling in the particular moment. But there are times where I'll come back or I'll find an old recording. Oh, I didn't even know I had this. Let me try and change it. And I'll change some lyrics or I'll add some music on it. But it really is just what I'm feeling at the moment.
That's very interesting because I know some artists they prefer to work on songs forever and then they will feel overwhelmed and probably never release the songs.
It's therapeutic for me. I think if I'm trying to write something and I mean what I'm saying and it feels good to talk about, then I feel like that's something that I want to do. And even if I'm playing live and maybe the songs are old and I don't feel that way anymore, still feels like nice to revisit, like flipping a book back to a previous page.
But you were mentioning a song from the Marbolo album that was an old one.
I don't know. I have an older Bandcamp of stuff that's just Sal Fratto old stuff, and that has so much music from when I was a teenager on there. I was bored one day and I went back and I thought, is there anything salvageable here? Is there anything that maybe was left unsaid or maybe still might resonate? I think A Call for Help was something that I listened to and thought I want to bring that back. You know, one of the lyrics, I'm sorry that it hurts me if you see me this way. Sometimes I feel like, I mean, we all can. I can get low knowing that I'm not alone and that I can move forward, and it was nice to just go back and find it.
It definitely goes with the rest of the songs on the album.
When I was looking at the track list of the EP that I was doing, I found A Call for Help and I tried to like listen to the demo along with the other songs and I thought it fit. I thought, all right, let's give this one another shot.
As I said, I heard some Daniel Johnston, Silver Juice as well, and of course Neutral Milk Hotel. So what are the main musical influences for you?
I would say my number one music influence is actually a friend of mine that Greg Mendez. He's from Philadelphia. We started playing with him back in 2017. On top of just being my favorite songwriter, he's also just a fantastic guy. He writes songs that really resonate with me. His self-titled record that he just put out, as well as Cherry Hell, which he released a few years back. Being able to draw inspiration from him and music of the likes like Elliott Smith or Daniel Johnston, Neutral Milk Hotel. Yen Dog, for example, is another band I have the privilege of playing in, and Ian is a really fantastic songwriter that I look up to. There's just something about being able to resonate with the music that your friends are making, and I'm just witnessing people write songs that are my favorite songs. It kind of lights a fire up inside you, like with Greg or Ian. It just feels like, wow, all my friends are writing these songs and I love these songs. And then it just kind of fuels the passion to write as well.
You also did like a cover EP as well, where I was listening to Elliot Smith, there is Daniel Johnston, and of course Neutral Milk Hotel, King of Carrot Flowers. That one is magic.
That means a lot. I bought a little Panasonic slimline recorder. My band member Andrew, he's in Elephant Jake with me, Yen Dog with me. There's only trash here. He and I started a little tape label back a couple years ago that we laid to rest last year called Fire Truck Records. But we have so many blank cassettes left in the room that I'm currently in. So I figured I'd throw one in that slimline and try and record some stuff.
So I was curious about what's your approach in promoting your music and to social media in general?
Lately, because I'm teaching the middle school, I feel like I don't know how to do it because they know so much. I didn't feel this way just 5-10 years ago. I thought I was keeping up with the times, but I try not to overthink it. I mean, I'll put the stuff up on Bandcamp and I'll put a link up on Instagram, or if I think about it, I'll throw it on Twitter or TikTok. And I just try and post as much as I can, as much feels right, without kind of making it feel like a chore. Because sometimes it's like, God, make sure you post here and here and here. But I know there's things I don't know, and I know there's things I could be doing more. But It's just a part of life. Like I'll post pictures with family or my partner Jackie, and I'm like, I'll throw this on there too.
I don't think there is like one way to about social medias.
There's not. There's a million different ways and a million different sites. Somebody could do it from TikTok. Somebody can do well on Instagram, YouTube video, anywhere really.
What about AI?
I haven't really touched upon it at all with music or anything like that. I mean, I know there's a difference between it being strictly artificial and like being able to take John Lennon's vocals out of that demo and make Now and Then, where it's still him, but it's extracted. So I think, that's an okay use of it. But I do know it's really can open up a rabbit hole and it can get bad. And it feels so new to me and it feels so rapid and ever changing and not solidified into like everybody's way of life yet. Musically, I'm not sure if I ever will or how I would. I don't even know how I would go about it.
Yeah, I feel the same. It's like I want to record the guitar. I want to write the parts. So it's like why I should let AI to do my work. It's the only part that I'm enjoying actually.
Right. It's your own personal thing. I mean, I don't really want something to sound 100% like it was ran through a machine because then I don't really get the emotions out of it.
For us appreciating artists like Daniel Johnston, we don't care about mistakes.
I don't care about the mistakes because when you listen to it, or when I listen to any music or view any art, to me, if the person means it, if they really mean it, then I think it's really, really good.
I love just how I feel.
Now that you have released this new EP, you're planning to play some gigs in the future?
Yes, hopefully doing an album release show in Philadelphia in April. Going to be playing another Philadelphia show in the middle of June. Probably going to my hometown sometime this summer and playing a singer-songwriter show. Tonight I'm going to the space where I may host my album release show. They do little open mic every Tuesday and have food and drinks. So I'm going to head there this evening, see what it's about, scope it out, maybe play a couple of the songs from the EP, and honestly just trying to get it out and play out as much as possible.
So would you say that like gigging and playing shows is still the way to go for an independent musician?
I think so. I know that social media is like the way for, people to find you and for people to kind of get a glimpse into that window of what your art is all about. But there's just nothing, I don't think anything really compares to really just getting out there and playing shows, meeting people, making new friends. If you play a show and one person is there, you make one new friend, that's it. That's a success. I mean, you can have a million followers, but I mean, how many of them are you going to call and ask to go have a cup of coffee, If you play a show and you meet one person there, really resonates with it, and then maybe you guys start playing music together or keep in touch, maybe you get a friend out of it. We were talking about AI, and I think that, social media here and shows here is kind of the same as AI here, and then writing and recording your own parts here. I think they kind of go hand in hand. It can be a tool, but I don't think it's the only way. I think shows is the most real way that you can do it, and it feels so nice.
No, but it's the same for me. I love to go to shows, to see other bands and to get in touch with them, because you build this kind of a connection that it becomes solid, and they will check your music, and then those are the real fans or followers.
I don't know how much of the followers or views or likes translates to like a show environment or see like what we're doing right now. That's great. Like that feels great, talking about music for the sake of music.
But you have future goals then after releasing the Marbolo album?
I'm hoping to release another EP. I mean, I have another like minute and a half, 2 minute long, maybe even shorter than that, minute long single that's just myself and keyboard that I'll probably be releasing within the next week or two. I just got this really old Casio tone analog keyboard synth thing from 1982, I think, but it's in great shape, and I was really, really happy to have it and use it. So this has been my latest fascination. I just have songs that are done. I'll release one here, probably one there, and maybe I'll get like a formal release together, hopefully sometime soon.
So, for the people that are listening to this podcast, should we share where they can find your music?
Certainly, yeah. Any streaming service that you have, you can find me just under Sal Fratto. Bandcamp. Displaced Snail is a record label. They make zines, records. I I've had the privilege of working with them for my EP. How many Marlboro miles do I have to travel to get a mail away jacket? And that has been just a dream working with them. Just really anywhere where it's streamable. And if you live in Philadelphia or anywhere in the Northeast of the United States, maybe we'll do a show. Maybe we'll hang out, get a cup of coffee, and we can. Anybody who's out there, anywhere, any of the social medias.
I forgot to ask about the title of the record.
Yes,
It's a really long title.
it is. It's very long. My grandparents, they built this house maybe in 2004. They lived in it for just under 20 years. They just moved out of it, and while they were moving out, they were trying to go minimalist. We were looking through the closet, and my grandmother pulled out the Marlboro jacket that's on the cover of the EP, and she said, "You want this?" I said, "Yes, I want that. That jacket is awesome." So I put it on, and I did more research on it. What is this jacket? Where is it from? And I found out that it was part of a Marlboro Miles campaign. If you bought enough, packs of Marlboro, you can cash in your points, and you can cash in your miles. And I don't know how many miles it is, how much it costs. So I'm curious, how many Marlboro miles do I have to travel to get this jacket?
And about the covers of your EPs and releases.
I was going for this theme of like putting pictures of when I was very young. But for this EP, it was a placeholder picture because when you upload to SoundCloud, you told me I had to put an image. So I was just going to put the demos to send to some labels and stuff. And I just drew the keyboard on the bed, drew the jacket on the bed, and this is fine. I took a picture just to put it up as a placeholder, and I ended up sticking with it.
Yeah, that's amazing. And with the Elephant Jake, are you planning to have any shows in the future?
We just played on Friday in Philadelphia. We have a few more shows in Philadelphia coming up. March 29th, we're playing at the Tin Can Bar. We got some shows in Delaware. And then this summer, we're going to be making our way out to a festival in Bowling Green, Ohio called Fochella. That's going to be a lot of fun, playing with a lot of friends, a lot of bands that we look up to. Just honestly, truly an honor to be able to play that festival.
It would be amazing if you can, every time that you play with a band, you can open up for them and play your songs.
That would be fantastic, yeah. I've definitely thought about that. I would love to.
It's like helping each other.
Yes. It's lifting everybody up because music, kind of going back to the social media thing, I mean, sometimes it can feel like a competition. It's not supposed to. It's creating something that really feels like it's a part of you and building each other up, lifting each other up. That's what it's about. The Cure cover is great.
Cheers, man.
Fantastic, yeah.
So it was really nice talking to you, Sal.
Thank you. I appreciate you very much, and let's keep in touch.
See ya, man.
Beautiful. See you later.